Stars in the sky, cards in my hand, searching for signs, lost in the sand. Whispers of fate, echoes of dreams in the dark slate. Nothing's as it seems.
So good morning and welcome to the MyTarot.org morning reflection. Good morning, Holly. Yes, it is Friday the 13th. We were just talking about that a second ago. So yes, happy Friday the 13th. So I hope everybody, if you are just getting up in this morning like some of us, I hope you had a good night's sleep. If it's mid-afternoon or evening or anything like that, hello. So, I wanted to throw out a reminder to people. So there's somebody who is a tarot reader who lives here in Maryland, and she visits frequently to this channel. And I found out that she was going through some medical difficulties, bad flu, things like that. But anyway, it just reminded me, it's like, it's good to sometimes check in on people if you haven't heard from them in a while, even if they're like acquaintances. Somebody maybe you've only met like a couple times or something like that, but they made an impression on you. Or I'm just going to suggest that sometimes just saying, hi, how are you? You can find out, how somebody's doing. And yeah, so I said hi, and turns out that somebody was not doing, I'm sure they'll be fine, et cetera, but they were going through difficulty. So I'm just saying that use your intuition and reach out and somebody you haven't talked to in a while and just say, hi, how are you doing? It's another, lesson for intuition, if you've got somebody like that in your list. So what are we doing this morning? We are going to put our feet flat on the floor, butt comfortable in the seat, shoulders relaxed, neck relaxed, listening to the cards like they're the sounds of the ocean. Taking that breath. Check in with the universe. See if we have any angers or resentments, or if we're feeling some kind of an anxiety, be it a free-floating anxiety. When we check in, we can kind of get an understanding, if not just wrestle that anxiety to the ground, but at least we get an understanding. Then we might remind ourselves to just go take a breath and go outside for a minute when it starts welling up. So now's the time to check in, though. As I like to say and remind myself, that the tarot, when I do the morning meditation, it's like the universe holding up the mirror. And for me, I use the tarot as that reflection. So when the universe kind of asks me, what do I see? I just use the tarot as a reflection. Some people can use a candle as a reflection. Some people use their inner eye as a reflection. But if the universe literally held up a mirror today and asked you, what do you see? That's the answer that we want to give. This is what I'm seeing. And I'm going to make our 3 stacks, each one a different thread going out to the universe. Each one's like a different thought or idea. And if we believe in the multiverse, it's like each one of these is a different path. Because this conversation will lead down one path, this a different one, and this a different one. And it is Friday the 13th. So let's take the top stack, which I like to think of as things that are right in front of us and we don't even see it. And I'm going to do our 3 and 1. And I'll flip each card over like they are the pages of a book. This is always exciting for me. Can I just say that, like, being a musician, sometimes it's like, some people lay the cards flat out. And to me, it's actually easier if I do that, because then the story develops as a big picture. But as a musician and stage fright and dealing with things like that, it's like not knowing and then having to tell the story as I move along. It doesn't really happen, but it's just that time where it's like, what about when I start flipping the cards over and they just don't make sense? But we have the 10 of coins today. So 10s are all about completion, because we use numerology in the tarot, and you have 1 to 10. And as I like to put it, and just remind people that when we run a race, you start at 1, that's your finish line. You know, you're running along. 3 is about growth. 4 is stability. 5, you're trying to get over. 5s are challenges. And you go over that hill. By the time you get to 9, 9 is where you win the race. Woo! 10 is what you do with the earnings. And here we have the 10. And 10 is about those things that we've accomplished. 10 is about those things dealing with coins, home, health, finances, all those things. It doesn't mean that we live in a castle. It doesn't mean that, it just means that we all have certain goals. And even if it's just to put $50 into the bank, woo, you've achieved a goal. And the thing is with this is that, what are we going to do next? Because 10 is a 1 and a 0. It's a cycle. So this is about accomplishing things, getting things done. But let's see what the next card is to see what that reflects. And sometimes we don't want to move on to the next goal. Sometimes we don't want to move on. Sometimes we just get so tired after trying to get where we are and just achieving some stability. But we have the 5 of Wands. And 5s, as I was saying, 5s, you're trying to get over that hill. And 5s are the challenges. And Wands are fire, energy, creativity. So it's going to be the next card that's going to tell us what's going on here. From the stability of the 10 of coins to the 5 of Wands to the Lover's card. So with the Lover's card, so a lot of books will tell you this is about relationships. This is about other people, things like that. But with the Marseille Tarot, the original tarot from the 1500s and the 1700s, it's more about choice. And so when I look at this, I see that Adam is looking at her. She's looking up here at the Archangel. And the Archangel is hovering over everything. We see here that he's got the fire behind him, the bush on fire, the tree on fire. And we've got the apple here, and we've got the snake. So in this picture, we're all making choices. He's making choices based on the reflection of this bush right here, which again, fire, passion, energy. She's trying to make a decision. Here's the tree of knowledge, but she's looking up at the spiritual. This comes down to trying to make choices. And sometimes our feelings, fire, snakes, spiritual things are all trying to influence our choices. So sometimes we like being where we are. We don't want to move to the next cycle. We worked hard to get to this point. But after a while, a choice has to be made. And sometimes there can be arguments, there can be confusion, there can be things like that. But a choice has to be made. So when we come up to the Lover's card, it's like, what are we going to do with these things that are trying to influence us? We have fire and energy, and Eve looks like she would be representing water. And then we have, these desires and everything else going on. And so it's a difficult choice sometimes. And these choices can lead to conflicts. because we know that it's time to kind of make some new goals, make some new choices. And it might be because of the people around us. And the thing about this 5 here is that notice that nobody's actually hitting each other. They're all just kind of have an opinion, and they're all like waving their opinions around. And as I always say about my Thanksgiving dinners, it never comes to blows, but it's always who has the loudest voice wins. And the advice card is judgment. So first I want to say that when we do a 4-card spread, and there's 78 cards in the tarot, 22 of those are majors. So when we have that many majors, and in this spread, 50% of them are majors, it's time to really pay attention to them. Minor cards are day-to-day cards. The majors are the destiny cards. Here we can see just day-to-day and then trying to make this decision. But each decision we make can have larger ripples. You throw a rock into a pond, and it's just a small rock, but the ripples will reach all the way to each shore. Judgment. As harsh as it sounds, because man, I tell you what, I growing up I knew what judgment was, but this is actually more of like a karma kind of card. You know, it's our actions that determine tomorrow. So if with karma, with judgment, today if I do the next right thing, tomorrow I might get the next right thing. You know, and the opposite is true also. It's like if I am being a jerk today, well, I may reap the benefits of being a jerk. You know, but judgment is just we reap what we sow. Judgment, you know, this card here is just saying, you know, based on our actions, this is what we get. Now, keep in mind that nobody is perfect, and we all know that. Sometimes because we need to do a change, you know, things get stagnant, things, you know, this small goal was achieved, but we can see that it's like whether it's with other people or anything like that, that there can be this internal or external conflict. This 5 shows us the anxiety behind it, and sometimes we do things we normally wouldn't do when we feel that anxiety. Or when we know we should be moving on, or when we know that we need to finish a goal. And so the thing about the choice is that we need to, do we want our anxieties to make that choice? Do we want our wishes to make that choice? You know, well, it's going to come down to how we make that choice is how the judgment card plays out. And if we can make a choice, you know, something that's more of a spiritual choice, something that says, I'm going to breathe through this choice. I'm going to, you know, think about it and not just react. That's the reminder for today, is breathing through our choices and not just reacting. We need to move on. So we need to breathe through our choices and not just react to our choices. Another thing about choice is that sometimes if we don't make the choice, then the 5 of Wands comes in and the choice gets made for us. Or as somebody even reflected, Rush is like my favorite band, and somebody even mentioned one time, if you choose not to decide, you still have made a choice. And that thrilled me to no end that somebody had said that, because that is the band of my childhood. So that's how the judgment card plays out. So today, be it a small goal or a big one, you know, where are we going to go next? And how do we want to handle that? And how do we want our choices to be influenced? So that's the question for today. How is our choices going to reflect tomorrow? With that, Have that amazing day, that amazing rest of your evening. I will be back here on Monday. Happy Friday the 13th and all that wonderful stuff. So thanks again. Take care, and I will see you later.
Stars in the sky, cards in my hand, searching for signs, lost in the sand. Whispers of fate, echoes of dreams in the dark slate. Nothing's as it seems. Flip the cards, run around. Mysteries we have found. In the shadows we dance. Stars in the sky, cards in my hand, searching for signs, lost in the sand. Whispers of fate, echoes of dreams in the dark slate. Nothing's as it seems. Flip the cards, run around. Mysteries we have found. In the shadows we dance. Take a chance, take a chance. Ghostly figures, guiding light, readers and seekers in the night. Hopes and fears, written in gold. Truth appears as stories unfold. Flip the cards.